that the police just don't want to come to grips with and be honest about who killed Big?
I just think that they don't care at this moment.
An audio of Lil Kim during an interview as she talked about Biggie has gotten the public believing she just outed Diddy for sacrificing her best friend, and that's why 25 years later no one was ever arrested for unaliving Biggie. From the 1990s, Lil Kim and the Notorious B.I.G, also known as Biggie Smalls, were two of Brooklyn's finest rappers and best of friends. The two MCs launched their music careers together and were by each other's side for years in more ways than one.
See, I love a show. It's Power 105.1. Me and Kim in the building talk about the Notorious movie. Now, you just telling me that this is the first time I've ever heard you admit that you were the mistress.
Yeah, I mean, he was married. That's no secret.
Well, it seems like these two were always by each other, helping each other write songs, and eventually even ended up falling in love with each other, even though Biggie was a married man. From the moment Lil Kim first met Biggie Smalls as a teenager and he heard her rapping on the corner of Fulton Street in their home neighborhood of Bedford-Stuyvesant, they both immediately knew she was going to be a sensation, and so Biggie asked her to join his group, Junior Mafia, and they began recording music together. They both signed into Bad Boy and started producing under Diddy and the other executives. At first, it was all a big family, but after Biggie's demise, Lil Kim's relationship with Diddy slowly started fading and turning nasty.
He said, yeah, I think Kim is more irritated with the fact that, how the situation is going down, especially what Puffy is doing. Yeah, he's darn right about that. Puffy looks crazy right now.
Here, Lil Kim was talking about how 50 Cent had been right when he insinuated that Diddy was trying to replace her. This was during the time Diddy performed with Nicki Minaj, and 50 said it was a performance of Diddy and the new Lil Kim. Lil Kim said she didn't like the fact that 50 was throwing digs at her without respecting her or paying homage to her, but that what he had said was true, and Diddy, the same guy she's worked with for years, was trying to replace her.
At the end of the day, Puffy is Puffy. It's all about what he can do, what he can give.
Lil Kim even said that Diddy only thought about himself and what would benefit him with disregard to the people around him. This is a strong accusation from someone who knew Diddy closely, and this might hint on the fact that Diddy didn't care less about anything that isn't benefiting him, and in this case, Biggie was going to leave Bad Boys for greater pastures, and this would never have benefited Diddy. According to Gene Deal, who appeared on DJ Vlad's vlog, Big had other things going on before his untimely death, and that the late rapper made moves to leave Bad Boy for a lucrative deal worth more than $60 million. At the time Biggie was signed to Diddy, he was being paid only about a couple $100, and all his music rights was going to Diddy. For someone whose music is considered legendary, it's quite obvious that Biggie was bringing in the big bucks in Bad Boys, but he was being paid in pennies. Deal even confirmed this when he said he saw Big's Bad Boy contract when he had to watch over Diddy's briefcase during a flight. The contract outlined Big's earnings in increments of $250,000, but left publishing income in Puff's possession. Gene claims he was curious about the credibility of the contract, and when he asked Biggie about it, the rapper allegedly told him about his new deal and all the more money he'd make. He showed me it had Charlie Baltimore, Cameron, Lil Cease, Lil Kim, Junior Mafia, Tracy Lee, and the commission. He explained, I think the contract was for so many years for like $62 million. It comes out to $62 million. According to Deal, it seems like Big wanted to stop Junior Mafia's way of doing business and have them start writing and holding their own, and that's why he was going to leave Bad Boys. Biggie even planned to keep his bestie Lil Kim under his wing and would have taken Deal along with him to the next label, but he believed Gene was too loyal to Puffy and would not consider leaving. All this information points to the fact that if Biggie had left Bad Boys, it would have greatly affected Diddy, and obviously the man didn't want that. Some claim that Diddy might not have had something to do with unaliving Biggie, but he surely knows who did it. According to a retired FBI agent who worked the Biggie case, Diddy may have been the original target in the shooting, and obviously he must have known there was a hit on him. Even though Agent Phil Carson is confident he knows the identity of the shooter and the man who financed the hit, Biggie's gunman has never been apprehended. This doesn't make sense considering the fact that if the hit was for Diddy, then why didn't Diddy himself, a multimillionaire, not finance the investigation to identify whoever murdered his artist? Colleague and friend, Agent Phil had claimed in the New York Post that corrupt Los Angeles detectives had hushed up the probe and that Diddy was very freaked out when he learned the news, and he went on to say that there was a slew of other people involved in the assassination. Phil said it was the largest miscarriage of justice he had ever seen in his 20-year FBI career, and that when he got evidence that LAPD officers were involved, the LAPD and city attorneys in Los Angeles shut him down. If this is true, then obviously Diddy either had something with the LAPD because he must have wanted to know who was after him. If there was a real hit on Diddy, why is he out here a 53-year-old man enjoying life while the young 25-year-old boy who died in his place has never found justice?
Locked up. Puffy never put a $10 bill, a penny, a quarter in my commissary. He never wrote me a letter. He didn't try to come see me. None of that.
Lil Kim claimed that Diddy cut her off when she went to prison and never even wrote her a letter or took the time to visit her. Of course, she felt betrayed by him. This was the only other friend she had after Biggie's demise, and he didn't consider her part of his family anymore. Maybe that's how it was with Biggie, and Diddy no longer considered him his friend when he decided to leave. It's been years, and honestly, Diddy has used Biggie as a publicity stunt for so long. If he had wanted to find the killer who ended his friend's life, he would have already done that by now. Remember when Gene said that he had already told Diddy that there was a hit against the Bad Boy members, but Diddy still asked Biggie to accompany him to that after event, knowing real well that there was danger lurking in the shadows. Biggie was under him? Diddy should have asked him to stay home. But now's not the time to question what Puff should have done or not done because the fateful event already happened. Now all Diddy has to do is assist in finding the perpetrator of that event. But that doesn't seem to be happening, does it? Lil Kim felt betrayed by Diddy when she came back from prison, and Diddy didn't even reach out to her, but he still went ahead and made music with Nicki, who at that time was her rival, instead of asking her to be the one rapping with him. Since Nicki was being called the queen of rap, Lil Kim felt like she was being disregarded and not acknowledged for the fact that she was the queen of rap, and Diddy working with Nicki felt like she had been replaced.
And you could never make another Big and Kim. That's not going to happen. It's never going to happen. Like, what? You kidding me?
You can tell how betrayed Kim was that she told the world that no one could ever create another Lil Kim because she was the one and only one. Adding to the fact that 50 had also called Nicki a new Lil Kim, she must have felt so frustrated of being compared all the time. She felt that Diddy should have acknowledged her and rapped with her that hard after she left prison, but he didn't, but instead chose Nicki.
Came to see me one time. You could have wrote me one letter. Even with the movie, they played the shit out of me with that movie. And I'm still rocking, even after they played the shit out of me with the movie.
Lil Kim claimed that Diddy didn't just forget her, but he also played her with the movie that was made about Biggie. She claimed she didn't have a say in how she was portrayed in the movie, and she didn't like how it was made, as though she didn't have any creative talent and had a career because she was Biggie's lover. She felt disrespected when in the movie it was made as though Biggie wrote all her songs, even though she claims he didn't, and that she wrote her own lyrics and only went to Biggie for help when she was stuck or needed creative guidance. She also claimed she was young when she had the relationship with Biggie and didn't know any better about not being with a married, although she claims she really did love him and he loved her back. Regardless of all accusations that have been thrown around carelessly, the one piece of information that still remains standing is that someone ended Biggie's life, and that someone is walking around scot-free. The question remains, what happened to Biggie? A fan on Twitter said, when Kesha said she wakes up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy, does she mean great and ready to party, or forever burdened by knowing who killed Tupac and Biggie? In this essay, I will. Another said, I never said Diddy killed Tupac and Biggie. I just think he knows the killers personally. Anyways, let's not forget that this video is based on theories and my opinions and should not be considered facts. That's it for this video. Guys,